Welcome back to another episode of the Hunt Fish Live podcast. I'm back. I had to do a little bit of soul searching and some thinking, but I am back, and it feels so good to be back behind the mic. It's been a little while, and honestly, I didn't want to rush into getting another episode out for you guys just for the sake of it. I wanted to wait till it felt right. And today, it feels right. Spring is here, the ice is gone, the lakes are opened up, and you can finally hear birds in the morning again. The air doesn't hurt your face when you walk outside, and the nights and the days are getting longer, which means we can go fishing after work. Thank goodness. We got a lot to unpack today. Let's get into it. Well, I just want to start out by saying I am so happy to be back. I did not get out ice fishing much. I think 4 or 5 times. 5 times might be a stretch, but we just had a bunch of family stuff going on, and it just didn't feel right to be out. It was too cold. I know, very tough to hear coming from an ice fisherman and a deer hunter, but it was. We had a huge cold snap. We got a ton of snow, and um, it just wasn't going to work out. Um, my wife and I and a few of our friends opened up a resale shop for the cat rescue, which has been awesome, and that has taken a bunch of our time as well. So, with that being said, though, the little bit of ice fishing that I was able to do this year went great for the most part. I fished in a tournament that I held or put on, caught a couple fish, didn't win, um, but the last time that we got out, we went to one of our favorite lakes that I've talked about in the past and crushed them. Brought home a nice meal of perch and bluegill, which was super awesome. Very, very thankful for that. And yeah, we tried, but it didn't work out how we wanted it to. So um, now the ice is gone and the lakes are starting to warm up. We can get back into it. We can get back into fishing. We can start thinking about turkey hunting and get turkey hunting. It's second or we're getting into the last third of March. April's almost here. Walleye season closed last week. Pike season closed last week. Both from Michigan seasons. It'll reopen last Saturday in April. Uh, So looking forward to getting out and doing that. We've had a ton of rain the past week, and our rivers are blown out. So we haven't been out steelhead fishing yet, but I think we're gonna try to get out and do some of that as well. Um, but let's talk the end of the ice season. Every year, it's the same mix of emotions. On one hand, you love it. Ice fishing is a whole different grind. It's strategic. It's quiet, and it's almost its own little word out there. But by the time late ice rolls around, things start to change. Shoreline starts pulling away, water starts pulling atop, and the darker, softer ice gets more prevalent. And you just think, man, one of these hours it is going to be over, and I'm going to be stuck out here, or this is probably the last time of the year. So, no matter how much you love it, you are ready to be done. You're ready to stop dragging sleds, drilling holes, and layering up like you're going through the snowpocalypse. Open water just gives you that freedom again. You're not locked into one hole. You can move around. You can cast wherever you want to. Cover some water, and it's just a completely different mindset. But let's be real. That first open water trip of the year, it doesn't always go how it's supposed to in your head. In your head, it's sunny, the water's warm, the fish are biting like crazy, and it's an amazing time. But in reality, we all know that it's going to be 45 degrees, windy, a little rainy, the water's going to be cold, and the fish aren't going to want to cooperate. and it sucks. But that's normal. It's the first trip of the year. It's more about getting out there and getting some casting into open water and figuring out your gear and just kind of like releveling yourself back to not fishing with a 2.5 foot fishing rod. So honestly, though, even if you don't catch much, it still feels amazing to be out. I have yet to go, and I am just super excited. So now let's really start to get into the fishing side of things. Early spring panfish is one of the most underrated bites of the entire year. It's my favorite time of year to fish for bluegill, crappie, perch. But the key is to understanding where the fish are in this transition from winter to summer. Um, they're not in deep water basins anymore. They're moving up shallow to spawn, but they're not all the way up there yet. Deep winter areas, mid depth staging areas, and shallow spawning zones are their migration paths. So right now we're mostly in the middle stage, but that doesn't mean they're not down there. Um, you focus on the shallow bays, darker bottom, darker bottoms, not mud or not sand, but you want mud, those decaying leaves, minimal current, and lots of sun. Um, that warm water or that shallow water is gonna warm up fast, and that's where the fish are gonna go. Um, if the fish aren't truly into or fully into the bays yet, though, they're often in connecting areas like little channels and drop offs right outside of the shallow areas. So, um, also those early showing weed beds can hold fish too. Uh, the let's see, the plants are giving off oxygen through photosynthesis, and fish like the oxygen. So also, look around structure and docks. Those areas can hold heat and attract fish on sunny days as well. If you take one thing from this episode, though, let it be this: water temperature controls everything right now. You might only see 3 to 5 degrees difference across a whole lake, but that difference can mean fish or no fish, an aggressive bite or a slow bite. So bring a thermometer if you want, or if you're in a boat, use your electronics. They'll tell you water temperature. So let's jump into presentation. This time of year, my go-to presentation is like a balsa stick bobber with either a 4 millimeter, 5 millimeter tungsten jig or a size 6 Aberdeen hook. I'll put a small panfish plastic on the jig, but for the most part, I am throwing or putting a waxworm or two on each of those types of hooks. Um, Minimal weight. I'm usually fishing shallow, like 18 inches to a foot deep. The fish move up to get warm. Also docks, and docks just depend on the depth of water around. So I usually try to fish as shallow as possible, and I've had good luck doing that for many years. Um, Not uncommon to bring home a limit of bluegill. Just gotta stay in that strike zone, and you'll find the fish. Minnows work for crappie, spikes, waxworms, and plastics work for literally everything else. So, um, another tip: presentation. You want to let it sit as long as you possibly can. Use small movements. I like to little twitch my bobber a little bit sometimes, just to get a little movement in that hook or the jig below, but don't overwork the bait. The fish aren't quite as energetic as they are in July, in March and April. So look out for that. Be patient, and you'll find fish. Shifting gears, because while fishing is heating up, turkey season is creeping in fast, and this is where things get fun. Because now your time starts getting split. Do you go fishing? Do you go scouting for turkeys? Or do you do both? Right now is the time to start prepping. Look for birds in fields, listen at sunrise, identify roost areas, and get your gear out. I know, you probably have it out already, but get your calls out, start practicing. get your decoys out, get them cleaned up, get your clothes ready, and get permethrin on your first treatment of permethrin so you get rid of those ticks. And get out and pattern your shotgun. Don't want to wait till opening week to figure this stuff all out, just in case you need something and you aren't able to get it. Early season turkeys are unpredictable. They're vocal, but not always cooperative. Biggest factor is hens. If a gobbler's with hens, he's got no reason to come to you. Instead of chasing him, go ahead of him, set up where he wants to go. Patience beats aggressiveness early in the season. Stick to those travel routes between food and roosting, and you will be all set. This is what it's really about, though. Those early mornings, getting in the quiet woods, hearing that first gobble in the distance, and watching the sun come up. Same with fishing. Calm water, light breeze, and that first bite are the moments why we do this and why we do everything in the outdoors. One of the best parts of spring, though, is you don't have to choose. Really, you can scout in the morning, or hunt in the morning, go fishing, and then go scouting at night. It's a full outdoor schedule again, and it's going to feel amazing. I'm looking forward to that big time for sure. So yeah, I've got a couple spots lined up that I want to go check out for state land around here. I'm not going to make it down to Indiana turkey hunting this year. Just not in the books. Maybe next year. I do want to kill a big farm gobbler down there, so hopefully one of these days. One of these days. But yeah, I have a few spots up here that I want to try again. I'm gonna go for an earlier season this year just so I can get out before other people. Last year I had a ton of problems with other hunters and everything like that. It was a pain in the butt. Every time I went out, everywhere I wanted to go, there was always somebody unless I got there really early, and there was no turkeys there. People must have gotten to them before I did. I don't know, but it was really annoying. Just because I wanted to kill a turkey and I couldn't do it because there was too much pressure. The mornings that I did get to drive around and turkey hunt were less than stellar. People everywhere. I didn't hear a single gobble at all last year, so it was tough. That was a late season, but this year I am going for early season, I believe. And yeah, I gotta check and see if I threw a tag or not. If not, I can probably get a leftover for now. So we will see. We'll see. It's exciting. But so anyway, final motivation for the spring for this episode. If you're waiting, if you've been stuck inside, if you've been saying, "Man, I'll get out there soon," just go. Even if it's for an hour, even if conditions aren't perfect, get out there, do some scouting, do some fishing, bring home some dinner for the frying pan, and just have fun. Enjoy the nice weather. It's starting to warm up. The days are getting longer. Go fishing after work today. Just go. Just go. Go fish for bass, whatever you want to fish for. Go fish for bluegill. Bring little gear. Bring one rod. Bring a couple hooks. Bring a bobber, and you'll be good to go. Just don't miss out on this awesome opportunity to spend any time outdoors in the spring. Well, that's it for this episode. Spring is here. Open water's back, and the panfish are moving. Turkeys are getting ready, so do some scouting and find that perfect bird for the spring. Everything's lining up, and take advantage of it. I appreciate you guys, especially coming back after a pretty long break with me. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who's just as fired up as you are to get out in the outdoors, and let me know what you're seeing out there, what fish you're catching, what birds you're seeing, anything. But until next time, get outside, stay after it, and enjoy every second. Thanks for listening to the Hunt, Fish, Live podcast. We'll see you next time.